So here's what my workspace looks like, and yours may be different. If yours is different, you have one of these other ones or your own, that is fine. I'll show you exactly what I did if you want to follow through with my setup. I just dragged this one window out, and then I pull down the layers, and in the toolbar I pull out and I make it wider but shorter, and it's just how I've gotten used to it and how I like things to be. So if we go file new, and then I'm gonna change it to inches just for this particular document, and usually I would use pixels, but in this case I'm going by something that is printed, so it's a physical dimension, and so that's how I know what it is. So the width, I'm gonna put 14, the height I'm gonna put 11, and that's just the frame size of my picture. And then the resolution I'm gonna put to 300. 72 is actually pretty low, and then 300 is more on the scale of DSLR camera, and so that's why I have it there, because the pictures I'm bringing in are at 300 resolution. You should try and keep your attention there and really learn what's gonna happen if it's off. It's not gonna do awfully too much, but just between how file sizes are is gonna be different. So I'm just gonna name mine framed photo. And then you can press OK. If you want to change to another type of coloring, then that's fine. If you want to change what the background color is, that's fine, but I'm going to keep mine at white. And then your color profile and pixel, the pixel ratio I don't want to mess with, so I'm just gonna press. Alright, so here I have my new document, and if you're working in Adobe CC 2014, then you're gonna have the choice of place embedded or place linked. So if you do file place embedded, that's gonna actually bring in the picture, and then when you save as a PSD, you don't have to worry about the original picture. You can throw it away, you can do whatever, move it places. But if you do place linked, then it's only gonna refer to that image. And so if you do that, then you move the original file, or you accidentally throw it away or something, then you're gonna have to go find it again, because it's not gonna let you move on without that. It's actually a really smart thing, because with place links, I'm sure it's quicker, just because it doesn't have the actual image in it. For this instance, I'm gonna use file or place embed, and it'll bring up the window to let me choose, and I'm just gonna go desktop, AndregDesigns, and then I'm just gonna go and select my images. You can select your images from wherever you have it. So for this image, I'm just gonna press enter and let it do its thing. And the next image, I'm gonna do file, place embed, and then I'm going to I'm gonna bring it in, but this time I'm gonna resize it, and the reason I'm gonna resize it is because I want to make sure it's bigger than the frame. And so just to make sure I want to size it up. And so if you just bring it up a little bit, then you'll be fine. And so if we move this down to the bottom, then now it's our background. The background layer you're going to want to unlock, because later on you can change the color of that. So here we can move out our guidelines, but if you don't have these rulers, all you have to do is go View, Rulers, or Command R or Control R if you're on Windows. Guidelines. But if you don't have these rulers, all you have to do is go View, Rulers, or Command R or Control R if you're on Windows. So here we can just drag these lines from vertically. We can do it 1 and 13, and horizontally we can do 1 and 10. So that's just leaving you the border that's gonna be your frame size. And so if you click onto the first image we brought in, by the way, if you want to only use one image, then you can just bring in one image, press Ctrl J to make a copy of it, and then you have 2 images, the background one you want to size up. And then if you press Ctrl T, or you do Edit, Free Transform, then you can get here. And I'm just gonna line one corner up with the guidelines, and I'm going to hold Shift as I bring this in, and I'm gonna make sure the side is lined up here. And now it's the size of my frame, so that's all good. And I'm just gonna move it into the center real quick. And so you can either use the arrows like I'm doing, just for precision, is why I'm using it, instead of actually dragging it. That way I only move it up and down. But if you want to move it quicker, or you want to move it up, down, left, and right all at the same time, whatever, then you can use your mouse. So if I go back down to the bottom layer, and then I use my marquee tool, and if it's not a square right now, you can hold down your left click and select the square or whatever you desire, and then you just make it the size of your frame that you made with the guidelines, and then you can just mask it, and then it'll make the white frame we wanted. And so now if you want to, you can get rid of these guidelines, and we're not going to need them anymore. So alright, so still on the same layer of the background, but not the first layer, the background picture, we're going to want to do filter, and then mine's already a smart object, but if yours isn't, I would strongly suggest that you do convert to smart filters. And so if we go down to blur, Gaussian blur, and that's just gonna let you blur the picture out, which you just want it enough that you can see there's something in the background, but you're not distracted by the background, which is always important to keep in mind. And so if you want to add in brightness and contrast, that's alright. I would suggest that you darken the background. I'm just going to use a curves adjustment to make the background a little bit darker, just using an S curve. and I'm gonna put a little bit of contrast in there by doing that. So that really brings it together in my opinion. And then at the bottom you can now change the color of whatever you want your frame to be. And so I would really suggest that if you're going to go get a frame or something, you do this, and then you can mess around with what color you want it to be. So say you want it to be a red, you could see if that fits in well with the picture or if that's just not going to go with it. I'm going to change it back to white, and then if you want to save this, you can do File, Save As. So here we can name it whatever we want. We can change the document type, and then if you're on a Windows, it's going to show you, instead of where, it's going to show you actual pictures like when you save in other programs. And then the format should be under that. And so I'm just going to save mine to the desktop as a Photoshop file, which is a PSD Photoshop document. And then it's just going to start saving. So if you like the song that was in the background, please visit SoundCloud and support my friend Peezy, who made that song. So if you like this video, please help me out and like it, leave feedback on whether it's what I could do better in the tutorials, or what do you want to see in future tutorials. And please share, whether it's Facebook, Twitter, whatever. And you can find me in the description below in Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Google+. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!